Hello, everybody. Goodness, it feels like forever ago. Hi, Purple Pixie. Hi, Emily and Michelle. Hello. Hi. What's today? Wednesday. The last Wednesday of December, the last Wednesday of 2022. Good grief, you guys. I am so grateful that this year is over. I can't even tell you. Um, and I'm kind of in that weird space between like solstice and the new year where everything is just who knows what day it is. I don't even know. So yesterday evening, let me get my microphone. Um, I had no idea what day it was. We have family over. They're leaving tomorrow, but it's been this beautiful like 3-4 day like family extravaganza, and I just you lose time, you lose space, you lose all of it, and I realized, holy cow, I have a life to do tomorrow. So gratefully, I remembered. I know this year I've been putting together a newsletter that I'm gonna be sending out tomorrow. I think, unless I finish it this afternoon, and I'll send it out tonight. But um, we're in the heart of winter, and so much of the way that we, particularly in the West, handle or approach like solstice, Christmas, all the holidays that happen at this time of the year, it it's like this is winter, and then the minute these holidays are over, we like are off and running even more, right? The goals of January, the let's get back to work, life kind of starts again at the same speed it was like 3 weeks ago, as opposed to the fact that we are in winter now. And now is where things really need to be ramping up in terms of ramping down, and slowing down, and really allowing for the hibernation to take place. And so I've been really sitting with that, because the pull and the urge and the temptation to just get back into that momentum game and that hustle is so strong. It is just part of the cultural terrain that we live in. And it is not the movement and energy of the season. So, anyway, all that to say is that I'm glad the year's over, but I'm also really um, trying to be very mindful and conscientious of the fact that the slowdown is just beginning. Like, this is it, this is the heart of it. So all that, yes, yes, yes. Hello, Esther. Welcome. Good to see you. Hi, what are we here for? We're here because we are here to talk about Sacred Bathing, the Sacred Box of December 2022. I believe and I hope that all of you now have your boxes. This is going to be a super casual gathering because, again, we're in the middle of this weird time of nothingness, hopefully. But we can talk about bathing, we can talk about rituals and all the things. I'll give you just a little something about bathing and why I think it's such an important thing, other than hygiene. We I think many of you are aware that there was a huge hiccup with these boxes. um I had these made in bulk for us, and then they were labeled, but I would get a whole box, let's say, of the body butter, and then another whole box of the sugar scrub, right? They were separate items with no labels, and so then we labeled them. But the company that I got these from mixed those up, and so some of the boxes had a mixture of the honey or the butter, the body butter, and a mixture of this scrubs, all in the same box with no labels, same packaging. And so there was a whole mix up where a few of you got doubles of one thing or the other. I hope, I'm going to knock on wood, that all of you have been caught in terms of reaching out to me and the right thing was shipped to you. But because of that, I'm not ready to release any single purchase boxes for the Sacred Bath box, at least until the second week of January, when I come back and kind of look through things, because I want to make sure that everyone who needed to get everything they needed to get got it. So until then, I don't feel comfortable releasing any single boxes, because we might need that inventory to correct some mistakes. So there's that. I know that was a question that a few of you have asked. The other announcement is that the January box is a beautiful nest manifestation spell box. I don't know that that's the official name, but it's something similar to that. That's going to start shipping out. I'm going to look at my phone. You'd think that I would have a calendar on my wall in front of me, but I don't, because you don't see it. But all of this is like a boom with the lights and the blah, blah, blah. Okay, let me look at my calendar. Um, Boxes for January will start to ship out on the 6th of January. We'll start to ship out on the 6th of January. So that's the first Friday of January. And that is a year-long manifestation ritual spell that we can work on together. And then the other announcement, or partial announcement, is that the February box, you've been asking for it. The February box is going to be a Lilith box, which I'm just like, I don't even know what. So Lilith is coming in February. The box, there is going to be a circle, a coven circle gathering for a year and a day to work with Lilith. And that'll be announced in January. And that will also begin. It would make sense for this to begin February 1st, but it won't. It'll begin March 21st. So we have time to get everyone on board. This is going to be an application process. It's going to be a limited amount of seats for this. So it's coming. And that box is kind of a way to kick it off so that everyone who wants to participate with working with Lilith can. And then a select few who get into that little circle can then work a little deeper with her throughout the year. And I think that that's it for major announcements right now. Are there any other major announcements that there are a bunch of things that everybody's waiting for. I know that there's a bunch of things like the retreat in England. There are a couple of virtual retreats that are coming up. And a few other announcements. Those are coming in January because nothing's happening now. From now until probably the second week of January, we're still pretty quiet because winter. Okay. Can I just also say that I'm freezing? It's cold here, but I had to get an iced latte. Like I'm drinking an iced drink while it's freezing. Let me see. Yes, Grateful Year is ending. Oh, you haven't gotten your box yet, so I need to look into the tracking. I'll look into the tracking too, because yours was one of the ones I think that went out first, which was a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, I think so. The other thing, Emily, is that I have another box that I'm sending out to you. You and True are getting a box, but because the thing that's coming in the box is so huge, I'm having a hard time finding the right box to fit it all. So you're getting something else soon. Amanda's box is currently out for delivery. Hi, Adrian. Hi, Amanda. Let's see. Hi, Jewel Mar. Hello. And Belly Diva, Miss Juanita. I love it. Hello. Out for delivery. Mine came in last night, so it wasn't lost. Yay. Also, any chance you have the recipe for the body butter and salt? I don't, because we got this. There's a great company called Bulk Apothecary. I mean, they're great in their products. They're not great in their customer service. Yeah, that's a review. And they're not great in their packaging because they're at fault for this mix-up and they're not really taking responsibility for it. And I have no issue saying that out loud to the public. But we got our stuff from Bulk Apothecary. They have got great soaps. They'll blend things for you, and they've got different blends of different oils. I love their stuff. So everything came from them. So you can go ahead and restock with them as well. I don't know if they ship internationally. So that might be something that you might all want to look into if you want to get anything from them. They also have, I was going to try to get these for us and send them out, but the packaging would have been a nightmare, and the glass is very, very fragile. They do these really huge, do I have one in here? No. They do these really lovely 3-wick candles in a glass bar and a glass jar with a beautiful lid. The scents are amazing, and they make your entire home smell magical. Now, I was going to do those, but again, the glass and I would have been a nightmare, and I just can't be dealing with broken glass and shipment because, especially during this time of the year, every shipping company and postal service is kicking stuff across countries because they're treating these boxes horribly. The breakage would have been terrible, but I highly recommend those candles. They've got a variety of different scents that are natural and some that are not natural smelling, but they also change them up seasonally. We have one in our home that's like, it's called Christmas Cozy, and it's got pine and juniper and something sweet and a couple of other things. I mean, you burn it for 15 minutes and your home smells like magic. I will also say that if you burn them for a very long time, for those of you who are sensitive to strong scents, it could be a little bit irritating. So there's that. We had our pine candle burning for 6 hours a few days ago. Family was arriving and we were all like around the dinner table because it's like the center of the house, and we were all like hanging out talking, and the smell kept getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And at one point we were all feeling a little itchy. So there's there's that to consider. I didn't make this, I didn't intend for this to sound like a massive commercial for, but that's what it is. Esther says, Elena, I emailed you regarding London. I'm going to be a Nana in April and all travel is halted for now. Oh my God, congratulations. That is a beautiful reason to not have to travel. I love that. Or not be able to travel. Congratulations. You are not late, girl. We're here. It's all good. Catherine, hello, hello. Gina, hello. I've not got my box yet, and happy day to you. I'll look into shipping today because I gotta look at my calendar again because I don't even know what day we're on. The last of the boxes shipped. I want to say that the last, because there was 20 boxes that were straggling, that were late. The last of the boxes shipped on the 22nd. So that's last Thursday. So Gina, if you have a tracking number, you should have gotten a tracking number emailed to you. Check your spam folder. You can check it there. But I'll also, when we're done here, I'll check our tracking numbers to see who's still delayed. But we had 20 boxes that were straggling because of this mix-up that I mentioned. And I was waiting for the right product to arrive. And so there were like 21 boxes that were late. Very, very late. They're all been late, but that's that. No, I can't show you the boxes, Esther, because they're not with me. I just showed up with my coffee today because I rolled out of bed and here I am. Amanda, my box was one of the last being delivered today. Okay, perfect. I didn't get an email, first time sub. TBAEC, I don't know how to pronounce any of that. Check your spam folder, but also email me because I can't tell what your name is. Email us at info@thewitchesbox.com to let us know, and I can check your tracking for you and send you the tracking link. Okay, so here's the thing. The list of what you should have gotten is in the letter that comes with your box. So the mix-up, if you had a mix-up, it didn't mean that you're missing an item. It meant that you got double of one and not the second item. So check your sugar scrub and check your body butter, because that's where the mix-up happens. Some people got 2 body butters and some people got 2 sugar scrubs. They're like the thinner, smaller container. If I am not, I don't know the exact number, but if I am not mistaken, it was about 15 to 20 of you who got the mix-up. So there's that. And I believe, if I am not mistaken, because I didn't fully count, I've sent at least 10 corrections out. These numbers aren't hard and true because I don't know for sure, but that's my guesstimation because of the boxes and the amount of things that come in each box on my end. Okay, perfect. So listen, let's talk about bathing. I want to address first the question that I kept getting. And also remember that I'm going to try to tell me if my sound goes weird. I want to remind you that there's the forum. There's been quite a few comments in the forums under the December box, so you can use that for questions and sharing and whatnot. But one of the questions that came up a couple times in email to me was, and then one of you who's a first time subscriber, we talked on the phone. Hi. If you have a shower and you don't have a bath, right? You get a bottle of salts. You also have the scrub that you use in the shower. What else do you put in? That's it, I think. If you have a shower, there is a Book of Shadow page in the box that talks about how to use these things in a shower. So obviously, if you have a shower, you can't soak in a bath full of bath salts, right? Obviously. However, you can change up how you're using those bath salts by putting a little bit. It doesn't have to be a lot. You have, find yourself a sacred showering container. Yes, it can be plastic, but you can also do wood. You can do other things. You can do ceramics if you don't have kids or pets that like to run around in your shower, because you don't want something glassy to break in your shower and then cause issues. But a container that you designate as your sacred showering container. And in that, you have your warm water. You put a teaspoon to a tablespoon of the salts in there. You mix it up and you use that as a way to bless yourself. The elements in the salts are just as potent in a shower as they are in a bath. It's just the way you use it is a little different. So don't feel like if you have a bath or if you don't have a bathtub and you only have a shower that you miss out on how to use these. We just need to get creative about how we're using those things. The same thing with the sugar scrub. So there was someone who asked, well, I don't have a bathtub, so I really can't use a sugar scrub. Well, of course you could. The sugar scrub is intended to exfoliate your body. So you can, I don't do it this way because it would be too cold. Some people get into the shower, don't turn on the water yet, use the sugar scrub to kind of like exfoliate everywhere, and then turn on the water to like rinse it off. I don't like being wet and cold, and I feel like if I do it that way, I get wet and cold. So I run the shower pretty hot so it's steamy, and then I kind of stand off to a corner and move the shower head and I exfoliate, and then I rinse it off with the hot water. So you can totally use it in the shower. And then in the bath, I stand up, right? I immerse myself, I'm wet, and then I stand up and I do the whole sugar scrub exfoliation, and then I dunk. And I usually do that right as I'm ending my bath, so that I'm not kind of like swimming in a bunch of sugar, although it smells amazing and it's great, but you can do it that way. So you have options and you can get creative. And then of course the body butter is just about like, let's moisturize after you get out of a hot bath or a hot shower. Beautiful. The candle is there to use for candle work. And then there's the chai tea, which is delicious. I love my chai tea with milk. And I actually don't tend to sweeten my teas anymore, but a little bit of honey, a little bit of agave nectar, a little bit of brown sugar sometimes is really delicious. You can do all sorts of different things for sweeteners depending on your dietary needs. Delicious. Chai is amazing. It's one of my favorite things. It tends to, I love the chai blends because it creates movement, because there's always a little bit of black tea. So there is caffeine, by the way. Someone did ask about this. The chai tea is caffeinated because it has black tea in it. But the black tea creates physical movement. There's caffeine, so your blood moves, your body warms. And then you've got all these beautiful, like the cardamom and the cinnamon. And I think that it has clove and anise, if I'm not mistaken. All of those things warm up the body. It's cozy, but it also gives you life. It's enlivening. There's movement involved. It is such a great tea to drink in the morning, in the afternoon. And if some of you can handle the caffeine also in the evening, I can't, because I'm at that age where caffeine is just like, might as well be cocaine at this point, because it's too much. It's too much. Not that I advocate the use of cocaine, but you know what I'm mean. I'm like, I'm in hyperbolic Libra mode right now. It's a lot. So those are the things that you can do. Let me see what's happening in the chat box. Terry says, mine finally arrived, but I haven't had a chance to dig in yet. I can't wait to get home. Yay. Adrian says, I got my box on Christmas Eve. Wow. And I bought the book Ritual Baths to go with. Love me some bath time. Those books, all of them, I have them because I did the review on them, are amazing. So for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, in the deep dive video that comes with this box, all of you should have gotten the link to it in your tracking email, but you also can find the link to that video in our forums under December 2022 Sacred Bath Box. I mentioned I did a booktube review here on YouTube on, I think it was 5 or 6 books on sacred bathing. All of those books are beautiful. I included a link to that video, but you can also find it here on YouTube, because those are really beautiful books to get if you're interested in really diving deeper into sacred bathing. So let me talk about why the sacred bathing, because I know that it's so like shishi frou-frou trendy right now. Like the bath is like a luxurious thing, hashtag self-care, blah, blah, blah. Yes. However, here's the thing. We do ritual as witches, as people in our lives, as in every culture there are rituals beyond creating magic. Like there's ritual for spell casting, and then there's ritual for transformation. There's ritual for meaning, right? Celebrating a birthday is a ritual. You might celebrate a birthday differently every year, but the act of setting aside a day that this is a day that I'm going to mark as special adds meaning to our lives. It helps us in the dance that we have with our lives, the relationship that we have with the cycles of our lives. Ritual is a very powerful healing tool, but that creates for each one of us as soulful, spiritual human beings meaning. They help mark time. They allow space and intentionality for growth, for expansion, for deeper experience. So we do ritual for a lot of things. And because we're witches, and I mean, I say this over and over again, witchcraft for me is at its core, no matter what your tradition is, no matter what. At its core, at its core, witchcraft is a spirituality of deep connection. It's a connection to yourself. It's a connection to the environment, to the rhythms of nature, to each other, right? To the seen and to the unseen. And when we create moments like ritualing, we are deepening into a particular experience, a particular connection. So oftentimes when we have conversations online or people ask me things, it's like, how do I incorporate ritual into my life? I'm a witch, but I'm kind of, please never use this wording, but I hear this wording a lot. We can talk about this in a minute. I hear this like language of I'm backsliding as a witch, or I'm not really a witch right now because I'm not practicing. You are a witch because you say that you're a witch because you've identified as a witch, and no matter what you do or don't do, that identity sticks. A. B. This notion of backsliding is a shamey word that comes from Judeo-Christian religions that mean you're doing badly and there's a lot of shame attached to that. Throw that shit away and burn it in the cauldron and never look back. This is not about backsliding. Your relationship with yourself and with the world is exactly what it is today, and there's nothing wrong with it. If you haven't done a ritual or cast a spell for 18 years, you can still be a witch. You don't have to. There are no requirements here, and no one is measuring your worthiness based on what you do or don't do. Period. However, maybe the word is and, if you do desire to create more ritual in your life, if you do desire to enter into that type of relationship with what's going on in your day-to-day life, bathing is a beautiful way of doing that because you are already doing it. Do you know what I mean? Someone's going to remind me because I always talk about this guy, and I read the book and I forget his name, but the guy who talked about habit stacking, Something Habits. The book is called Something Habits. And anyway, it's not witchy at all. It's more of a life hack book. What is it called? Someone here knows. I know someone here knows the book, but it's Something Habits is the name of the book. And he talks about habit stacking. In any case, the idea or the premise is this. If you want to add a new habit into your life, you stack that habit onto something that you do already without thinking about it. So for instance, if you want to, like this next year, you want to habit stacking, Atomic Habits. Yes, it's Atomic Habits. It's a great book. I read it, I don't know how long ago, but this is what I'm referring to. So the idea is this. If I want to, for instance, as a very mundane example, for 2023, I want to really make sure to take particular supplements to help my health. But I suck at it. I don't remember, blah, blah, blah. But you know what I do every day? I brush my teeth every day. So I would stack the habit of taking my vitamins as I also do my toothbrushing or my teeth brushing, right? Because if I'm already doing one thing, I'm adding the other thing to it to help enable or empower or amplify the habit of taking my supplements, right? It's the same thing that we're dealing with here. If you want to add more ritual into your life and you are already showering, you're already bathing, what better way of establishing both by adding them together? So every time you step into a shower, every time you get into a bath, you are sacralizing it. You're making it sacred. You're making it intentional. It is a mini ritual or a huge ritual that now you're doing every single day. It can be a ritual of cleansing. It can be a ritual of recalibration. It can be a ritual of self-care. You're just adding onto something that you're already doing deeper meaning. And it's not a lie. It's the truth. It's just that you weren't paying attention to it as that thing before. So this is why the sacred bathing is so important, because it can give you something that you might be missing in other places in your life because you're too busy, because you're jam-packed with 1,000 responsibilities and running a family, a household, a business, work, whatever. You are already doing that. You don't have to find another hour somewhere in your already 35-hour long day. You're already doing this. Even if it's a 5-minute quick shower, you can sacralize that and make that its own ritual. A moment to breathe, a moment to be alone, a moment to set the intention for the day, a moment to let go of the day, right? A moment for nourishment, a nice long hot shower or a bath on a full moon is a full moon ritual. And this is why it's such a beautiful way of weaving into your life something that you really long for, but you're having a hard time finding time for. Yeah? Okay, I'm gonna take a little drink and see what's happening. Sandy says, some chai today sounds wonderful. Yes. Preach, preach. Habit stacking. Yes, Atomic. So it's James Clear. Okay, so Atomic Habits by James Clear. Boom. I love that all of you have read the book. It's good. Gina says the healing bath, holistic bubbles, and soothing soaks. Writer, Meredith Alma Tadema. This is so wonderful and precious to me. I don't. This down. I'm going to give you a little insight into the things that I do. I have very specific financial goals for 2023. I'm a goal-oriented girl. It's my Virgo moon, it's my Libra sun, it's all the things. And so my expenditures for next year are going to be significantly less. So your girl is trying to buy up all the things before the year ends so they don't have to worry about it for next year. And books is one of those things. So if there are books right now that you're like, oh my God, you have to have it, tell me. Because starting next January, which is in a few days, Mama's done. Alma, as done as I can be, to Dema. However, I have to, did I bring it with me? I did. I'm going to show you something. This has nothing to do with bathing, but everything to do with witchery. I got this in the mail yesterday or the day before. I don't actually even know if it's out yet. It's about to be out if it hasn't been published yet. But it's Entering Hecate's Cave by Cindy Brannon. And I'm so proud of this because I love Cindy. And this is the second time I've gotten to do this. This here is your girl. I did a little blurb for her book. So I read this book a while ago. It's so good. So good. Anyway, so I do have some new books for next year. So I don't have to really freak out that I'm going to try not to buy as many books next year because, Okay, what else is happening? Yes, James Clear, Atomic Habits. I'm still working within my learnings. Yes. Ouida, I think it's Ouida, yeah? CC. I'm actually in the tub right now. Woohoo! I love it that you're bathing while watching this. This is is that meta? I don't know. Rachel, I just ordered that book a couple of days ago. It seemed like a nice read for Capricorn season. Beautiful. Awesome. So y'all, free audiobook of Atomic Habits on YouTube. I love that. What a great resource. Girl, you're on it. Adrian, the tub has always been my temple. It's surprising that I haven't grown webbing between my fingers and toes. I mean, I know. I feel you. I think I've already shared this story. I definitely shared this story in the deep dive video for this box where I've been bathing, predominantly bathing, like 98% of the time I only bathe, since I think 1994, when I realized, holy cow, I can totally take a bath every day if I wanted to. And that's one of the things I've been doing forever. 1994. For us Gen Xers, that's not very long ago, but for the rest of you, it's a long time ago. In any case, I'm a bather. And then when when I'm at a place where there isn't a bathtub, I take a shower, obviously, but bathing is such a great way of, it's a recalibration for me. And during the winter months here, when it's just bone chilling cold, even though we've got the heater on, we've got a fireplace, the whole thing, I will linger in a bathtub for an hour, sometimes over an hour, just to be in hot water. And I read, I chill, I do mantra work, whatever, but I live in the water and I just warm up my bones and it's so good. Okay. I know it's a good book, Emily. It's her. She does such a great job with everything she does. It's the continuation to the work that she's been doing, and it's a gorgeous book. It's a gorgeous book. Deep shadow work, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, I highly recommend getting it. I definitely highly recommend getting it. Oh, you shaved your head before Christmas. I love that because right before Christmas, right? It's like the dark moon phase version of the sun. and to just like completely just whoosh, strip away before the new year. Beautiful. I love that. That's powerful. Jill Mar says, decoding your emotional blueprint, a powerful guide to transformation through disentangling multi-generational patterns. Girl, always count on Jill Mar to bring the good book review, good book recommendations. Hold on, decoding your emotional The Healing Bath. The Healing Bath by Maribeth Riggs. Illustrations by Sir Lawrence Alma Tadema. Okay, my favorite artist of all time. I love this book so much. I'll have to buy it. Okay. I wrote down the wrong version of that name earlier. Beautiful. Please listen to her interview with Tammy Simon on Sounds True. Okay. Manita says, I love having a bath. Unfortunately, my water is brown, so I have to either take a quick shower before it turns brown or a bird bath. Oh, that's unfortunate. Where are you living? We still have places in this country where we can't actually get clean water through the faucets. It's like the worst thing ever. I don't understand what the hell's wrong with this country at this point. Adrian says, I have to take screen captures of the book recommendations. Do it. Gina says, Queen D's Fairy Recipe Book. Cindy McGonigal. Very good. Queen D's. Okay, beautiful. You're in Queens. What the hell's going on in Queens, man? I need more paper room. The mountain is you. Can you hear me writing? My pen is noisy. Finish it on Audible and get a hard copy. Also recommend The Strength in Our Scars. Have I heard of that book? Do this over here before it falls off. Right now, I'm reading a book recommended by my therapist, who's badass, called Patriarchal Stress Disorder. I may need a whole winter season to recover from reading that book, basically, is where I'm at with it. It is really intense. It's really good. I'm not very deep into it because it's a very slow read. Every time I read a page, I have to like sit and absorb and integrate and try to process through what it's bringing up for me. But I highly recommend it. Patriarchy. Is it patriarchal? It's Patriarchal Stress Disorder. Do I have it with me? No, I left it in my nightstand. Yeah, I don't have it with me, but yeah, recommend it. Catherine says, I spend at least an hour in the bath. I have my candles, music, incense. I make it my sacred time to release or manifest. Plus, it's the only place I can be alone. I know for a lot of you mamas and papas too, it's the only place that you get to actually like, or if you don't have kids, but you have people in your home, in your household, it's a refuge from other people. You have a moment of quietude, a moment of being alone. The bath can be a lot of things for us. Or just, there's nothing better too, like getting into a shower in that hot water, and that stream just kind of flowing off like all the way down your body. Oh my God. See, like I'm freezing right now. I can go ahead and like dunk myself into a hot tub for an hour right now. Purple Pixie, I have to find a way to move our litter robot. It's blocking my tub. Oh, our litter robot. It's blocking my tub. I mean, that's totally hilarious. Adrian, I'm reading Kitchen Witch, food folklore and fairy tale. It's been a fun, easy read so far. Oh, let's hear it for fun, easy reads. Beautiful. Yeah, my reading lately has been intense. And I'm like, maybe I need something fun and light because you need a break sometimes. Speaking of litter boxes, I have a new baby. I have some self-consciousness because I wasn't thinking about it until my nephew was like, yeah, I saw your hand, what's going on? And I'm like, what's wrong with my hand? But do you see, like, you probably can't see, I'm totally scratched up because we got a new little fur baby and she's the cutest kitten on the planet. I can't. She's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. Her fur is the softest thing ever, and we talk to each other, and I just want to die. I don't want to work. I don't want to do anything. I just want to play with her all day long, every day. So let's hear it for furries and for cats and for litter boxes that are gross but are necessary and all the things, because it is such a joy. She's been a beautiful little gift into our lives. What else do I want to say about baths? I think that's it, unless there are any questions. The other thing that can happen with bathing. Why is that so loud? Shh. Can you hear me? Testing what you can. Okay. The other thing that can happen with bathing is that, again, layering. And I talk about layering beyond the context of like habit stacking, yeah? Where if you're bathing, let's say on a new moon, you can incorporate your spell work in your bath or in your shower. You've got the element of water, you've got your body, you've got all the things that you can add to the water that you're showering in. You can make that part of your spell. You can, with something that like dissolves, put sigils on your body that the water then activates. That herbs that you tie to the end of your shower head activate onto your body, onto you, onto your cells, so that you become like a living candle towards that spell. You can just do the same thing in a bathtub. So there are many, many ways that you can use this. This is especially true for those of you who are in a family household where you might not feel comfortable or free to have an altar, to do your work in a room, in an altar space. You've got the bathroom, you've got your shower, you've got your bathtub, and you can get really creative about how you use that space and how you use that moment for yourself, that ritual, so that you can spell cast, as well as those things that we talk about, which is the recalibration, the cleansing, the reset, right? You can get very creative so that you don't have to, if you're in a situation where you don't feel comfortable working at an altar or keeping an altar because of people that you live with, you've got this one private space that for the most part no one comes into. You have moments alone where you can do what you need to do, both for your own personal hygiene but also for your own soul, like that. Kitten babies, I know, they're so cute. Cats are so wonderful. She is, I can't, I'm so in love with her, it's ridiculous. Emily says, I've been finding the books on Amazon and putting in, I'm a wish list whore. My wish list on Amazon is like the most obscene thing ever, because I think I've been keeping it for years and it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And I mean, obviously I can't buy everything I want to buy in the next 3 days before the new year happens, because high budget, money, responsibilities, all the things. But I'm trying to be very intentional, like, okay, I know that I'm going to need and want, blah, 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 blah. So I'm trying to get as much now so that I can really have several months, if not the whole year, of very minimal expenditures beyond the necessities, because mama's got a goal that requires saving, and so it's like everything needs to go towards that. Let's see. Purple Pixie says, I've been trying to convince the hubs to get another cat, but he's like 2 is plenty, so jealous. Well, this conversation started yesterday because the family's here, and she's young. She's a stray that we took in. She's young and she still likes to nibble, like she'll gnaw on fingers, but in a really gentle way. And I wonder how much of it is that she's teething still, because she'll gnaw on the back teeth and she just kind of hangs out there. But these claws are little lethal needles. They're just like, hence my hand is completely just shredded, because we'll start to play and she'll like bat at you and then she'll cling to you, and it's like, you literally just sliced my hand off. So I'm trying to like train her like gentle. When we had our dog, which we loved, he died in 2013. He was a very well-trained dog, and one of the words that we used as a command was gentle. When we would say gentle, he knew, like, if I had food that I was about to put in his mouth, he knew not to grab it. He like very gently would take it. He was very gentle because we trained him that way. So I'm trying to do that with her, but she's not quite getting it. And so one of the things that one of our family members said was she needs to be socialized, and the best way to do that is to get another kitten because they teach each other to be gentle. Because one hard whap will be met with the right type of response, like, "Hey, you can't do that." And so I was looking at John like, "We might need another cat." I don't know that I can convince him of that because we weren't even expecting to get this cat, but I'm working on it. The Mountain Is You is also on YouTube. Oh my god, all these books on YouTube. I love it. I will look that up. Emily says, one of my favorite self-help books that I've loved for nearly 20 years is Romancing the Ordinary. Oh, I love it. Romancing the Ordinary. I'll look that up. Show us the kitten. She's not here right now. I'm at my office and she's back at home. And here's the thing. She's not a social media kitten because she just is not down with posing for photos. We've all been trying to catch photos of her for the last for the last few days. But here, can you see? I don't know if you can see. Just look at her. So she's got a little black cap on her head. Her toe beans are all black, and you can't see it in this photo, but her tail is black too. She's the cutest thing. She's called Mia. She's so cute. I love her so much. Okay, enough of the cat show and tell. Kim says, hi everyone. Hi Kim. Just coming in late here. I have used a scrub in the box and it's wonderful. Oh good, yeah. And the smell, isn't the smell amazing? Adrian says, I'm a Pinterest hoarder when it comes to my book wish list. Melanie says, show us the baby. Okay, so I showed her the baby. Jilmar says, I told my financial advisor that I am bored with spending, putting extra money in mutual funds. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. We will talk about money this year for sure. Put money away. For you, those of you who are young, this is what I tell my younger self all the time. I would tell myself this. I would tell my younger self this every single day. Put money away. Even if it's $5 a week, $5 a month, it doesn't matter. It feels like, I remember used to think this, well, I only have $5, why put it away? Over time, it accumulates and it amounts to something. Get an IRA. You need to plan for your retirement now. $1 million to retire on isn't a lot of money. It sounds like a lot of money, but especially in the United States, I can't believe we're talking about money and a sacred bath thing, but we're going to do it. Especially in the United States of America, your Social Security is not enough. You're going to need medical help that Medicare, Medi-Cal, Medicaid is not going to cover. You want to be empowered to take care of yourself in your older age. You want to be able to retire so that you can enjoy more life. Put money away now. Even if it's $5 a week, $5 a month, stop going to Starbucks. The money that you spend on a Starbucks drink is money that you can put away for retirement. Do it now. No matter how old you are, even if you're 55 and you've never done it before, do it. The amount of people that I know in the spiritual community, priestesses that I have worked with, that have taught me, that who have nothing, even though they have done a lifetime of work in service. And I don't want to put beliefs and words in their mouths, but this is a pandemic. An epidemic. It's an epidemic in the spiritual community, especially in the spiritual leadership community, of people who have devoted their lives to being in service and still harboring the belief that to have a lot of money is somehow not spiritual, are deeply suffering. Money is not evil. Money is just a representation of energy. The more you stock that energy, the more that energy will serve you throughout your life. It's about self-care. It's about creating stability for yourself. Even if you only make like $19,000 a year, $5 a week, you know you spend it on things that you don't need to spend it on. Put it away. I can't believe we're talking about this now, but this is a big deal. There are too many people who are suffering deeply in their later lives, and we're living longer, which is an amazing thing, but we're living longer, which means we need more. And we want to be able to live with dignity, and we want to be able to live in a way that isn't in a constant state of scarcity. Put your money away. Yes. All right. Because also there comes a time in our lives, right, where we don't really want the things anymore. We want the experiences. We want the experience of peace. We want the experience of travel. We want the experience of delicious food. We want the experience of having a home that holds us. Those things require money. Okay. All the things. I know, isn't she the cutest thing you've ever seen? She's so cute. We have 2 pit bull puppies, 50 pounds each of love. Oh my god, I love pit bulls. They're so like you just want to squeeze them. Oh, I know. The next thing is a dog. I need dogs in my life. Michelle, money book advice I've gotten. And love is the richest man of Babylon, or the richest man in Babylon. I don't know that one. In Babylon. Esther says, I'm living this regarding Medicare. It's not enough. Save. Money is an energy. The scarcity mentality is prevalent. Also, old vows taken that no longer serve. Yes. Release before manifesting. Beautiful advice. And absolutely. Social Security is not enough. It's not. Medicare, Medicaid, not enough. Take it from someone who my mom passed a little over a year ago, and she had no savings. She had nothing, and she was relying on her Social Security, and she was relying on her Medicare. I had to supplement that. She did not have enough. She got ill, as we do, because we're dying people. We have a natural life cycle, and as we start to decline, our medical needs will increase. I mean, some of us will be super lucky where we're going to be totally fine until one day we go to sleep and we don't wake up again. But the statistics don't say that that's going to happen to most people. Right? And for her, it became an issue of she got medical care, but it didn't come with the amount of dignity that she deserved because she couldn't afford the right medical care. Is it right that in the country that's supposed to be quote unquote the richest country in the world that people don't get the care that they need? No, but that's the reality. So we can fight against what's wrong, but we also, in the meantime, also have to take personal responsibility for giving ourselves what we need. So you're going to need help medically. Right now, I don't know. Who do I know right now? Well, when she died, she was making $1,800 a month on Medicare. I mean, on Social Security. That's not enough to live. She was in California. You can barely afford an apartment or a home or anything with that. So then you can't feed yourself. Then there's not enough to take care of the medicines that you need, to take care of the medical care that you need, to get the driving. Someone needs to drive you somewhere that you need. This is important, and people in spiritual communities need to get comfortable with having these conversations because we're very ill prepared. And this is an institutional lie that somehow being spiritual means that you have to eschew money is killing all of us. We have to stop with this. We have to stop with this and become really very responsible stewards of our money and our personal care and our personal needs. All right, I can talk about this forever. Do you see I'm passionate? I am passionate about this. Jilmar says, my body, mind, spirit, and emotional self requires a certain level of economics. Yes, and maybe we need to call it sacred economics. We have needs. We need to get honest about that. We have very specific economic needs, and we need to get honest about that, and we need to strip the shame out of that. There's a siren somewhere. Sorry about that. Adrian says, I have started listening to The Richest Man in Babylon on YouTube. What is it with the YouTube and all of these resources? I had no idea that you can get audiobooks on YouTube. Let's start looking for that. Kim says, it took me many, many years to develop a healthy relationship with money, also to develop good self-care, and having money is self-care. Yes. I mean, I'm still working on my relationship with money. Still, and I wonder, maybe it's a lifetime thing, maybe not, but it is an ongoing relationship that has its ups and downs, right? And then how do we honestly engage in a healthy relationship with money is a good and important question that I would plant the seed in each of you for this next year, because it's an important conversation to have with ourselves and with each other. All right, any questions or anything else on sacred bathing? You can do a sacred money bath, right, with yummy herbs. The herbs that I use for bath can be a little to the body, but cinnamon is beautiful, clove is beautiful. If you have one of those really lovely, easy to get, like they're like $2, right? Those little like strainer screens for your drain. You can do gold leafing in your bath as a way to immerse yourself in gold, in value, and in abundance. Beautiful. There are a bunch of things that you can do. Kim loved the scrub in the box. Wonderful. Love it. Love it. Yeah, like that. Um, I want to point out that we are at the waxing phase of the solar year. The new year has started. I know a lot of people feel like Samhain is the witch's new year. You know, I don't subscribe to that. It just has never intuitively felt right to me. Solstice for me is the new year, because the sun has just been reborn. We are now at the waxing phase of the solar year, which is beautiful. This is obviously different for those of you in the southern hemisphere, but I think the majority of you are in the northern hemisphere. We are now in the building phase. We're now in the seed planting, nurturing, and growing phase of the year. That does not mean, however, that the rest and the pause and the working in the dream time is no longer called for. We're still in that part of the manifestation process. We're still in the rest. We're still in the shoring up of nourishment and rest and dream information. This is still where we are in winter, so take advantage of that. Really resist the speeding up. Resist the manic goal setting to start in January. You know what you need to cultivate for this next year internally. Your soul knows. Let your dreams inform you on how to proceed from here with those seeds of manifestation for your year. Resist the crazy speeding up manicness of it all, because we're again at the beginning of another year. At the beginning of 2022, if you remember, everyone was like, this is going to be the best year ever. We just got through the worst of it. We were like in the death rattle of massive trauma for the entirety of this last year, because we were still reacting and responding to the last 3 years, right? Like we're still in it. So resist the urge to jump into the fray, pull back even more, to sink into the quietude of yourself, into the quietude of your dream, into the quietude of the shadow, even though the shadow is not necessarily very quiet, to really observe and listen. What needs to happen this year? What is the 1, 2, maybe 3 things that really require and need and desire my attention? Don't do 12 goals. Don't do 18 goals. 1 to 3 things where you're really just going to hyper focus on it. And please make one of those things your own personal self-care. Simple, quiet, and slow. We need a year of rest. We need a year of introspection, but also deep, deep listening and being guided by what our intuition and our souls know they need to do. Boom. Julmar says, since COVID, many authors, artists, etc. moved online. That makes sense. Juanita says, what herbs do you recommend for money spells? So I love, I work with my 3, and my 3 tend to be my patron, and they tend to be the herbs I use for everything. But cinnamon, clove, cedarwood is a big deal for me, even though it's not usually associated with money. The persistence, the perseverance, the strength of cedar, and the protectiveness of cedar for me really weaves really well with my money intentions. Rose, because of fierce love that rose brings to it, and the beauty that rose brings to things, for me is very deeply tied in personally to making money or attracting money from a place of love and beauty. And then I use a lot of gold leafing, because I love the symbolism of gold. Even though it's not actual gold, I'm going to try to start, if I can afford it at some point, investing in little pieces of gold just for my money spells, because for me, gold is deeply tied into Lakshmi and deeply tied into abundance through actual value, not necessarily abundance just in the just numbers, but what is the truest value point of the thing that I'm trying to manifest in all things. So it's not just money, it's in life experience, it's in life's work, it's in relational connection, all of those things, distilling it down to its deepest, most purest value. And that's my version of abundance. Yeah. So I work with those things, but I'm sure that others, if you have other suggestions, everyone just put them on on the chat board. Hold on, I lost my place. Oh, Adrian says, I'm working on my relationship with money as well and trying to outgrow my inherited lack mindset. Yes, we all have, I think most of us have that to work through. The scarcity mentality is deep, 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 deep. And if you want to really talk about how deep this goes, this book that I'm reading speaks to that, particularly, specifically with women. Patriarchal stress disorder speaks very deeply to the patriarchal wounding around abundance, money, and women, and what that does for us, and how that identifies the things that we need to work through in order to like break that spell, because it's a spell. Okay, TBAEC. To bake. I don't know what that is. Napoleon Hill has an old video series on YouTube. I watch this at least once a year. Oh, Napoleon Hill. That's an oldie bit of goodie. Hill YouTube. YouTube is getting cool. I mean, YouTube's always been pretty cool, but there's so much available on YouTube to check out. Mena says, my friend and I were just saying the same about New Year's being solstice. Yeah, it's always been solstice for me. And originally my original tradition in witchcraft was Dianic witchcraft. And I think I'm always going to be a Dianic witch at heart, but that's not the tradition that I practice and follow now. But still, even then, that was my first teaching, that Samhain was the beginning of the witch's new year. And I'm like, yeah, it just, even then, it was like, that doesn't feel. And that's not that it's wrong. For some people, it absolutely makes sense. But for me, because I'm a sun, moon girl, the sun's new year always works for me. Adrian says, I'm building a working focus on the calling back of power and ramping up with the sun coming back, and the new moon just after the solstice was perfect. Yes, right? Those seasonal shifts and the planetary dance, all of those things really work beautifully, and we're connected to those things. We're not separate from those things, so it makes sense. Yeah. And Adrian continues to say, it's all about small building blocks and incremental gain. Yes. Dilmar says, we must put making by money in an active practice. Quick way to wealth, employment with a strong company who matches 401k stock options cash. Yes. That is such a great conversation to have. I mean, I don't know if this is the time for it, but I don't know how to say this without outing people. Let me think for a minute. I think a lot lately, always, I suppose, about what advice to give younger folks in terms of career planning. The two younger generations get a lot of bad press for their work ethic, like millennials and zennials and whatever else is after the zennials. And I think that there is some blockages in understanding with that generation. There is an extreme pendulum swing that has happened where it's like, if it doesn't feel good to me, then I'm out. And there's something really valuable and wise about that. But there's also a balance that needs to happen that I don't see in that generation, which is that we have to balance several things. How do I feel in this position? How do I feel in this job? How do I feel in this company? Matched with, what is my bigger picture? Where do I want to be in 50 years? Because what you want to do in 50 years, the planning for that starts today. And oftentimes youth doesn't take the bigger picture into account. I mean, let me tell you, I have lived in the right now for a very long time, and now I'm 51. I am paying the price for a lot of that thinking in my youth. So there needs to be a balance. And one of the ways that we do that is by really getting clear about certain things in terms of your career planning. Are you an entrepreneur? Like, do you have the entrepreneurial spirit, or do you know that that's really not for you and that you thrive better in a structured company that gives you a container to work with? Because both have very beautiful, powerful, potent positives to offer. And it's a personality match. Entrepreneurial life is not easy, right? It's not easy. I wouldn't have it any other way for me, but it's fucking hard. And there's a lot of stressors in an entrepreneurial life that you're never going to have as a person who is an employee of a company or something. So you need to know and get clear about which one you are. There are a bunch of career coaches out there that can help you with that. We're talking about a lot of money today on a bath, but it's what it is. Now, you need to know that. And then on top of that, you need to get clear. If you are an employee, as Jewel Mar says, pick the people that you work with wisely. Just because it's easy and yeah, it's like you only get minimum wage, but it's easy and I just roll in, that's not going to help you, because minimum wage doesn't cut it. It doesn't. Whether that's right or wrong is irrelevant. Yes, let's fight for better wages for everyone, of course. But in the meantime, you better fight to get good wages so that you can provide for yourself, because no one, this is where my politics come out, no one is going to provide for you. This is not that country. This is not that world. And the only person that can take care of yourself financially is you. So, I mean, what am I talking about right now? So, pick the people that you work for wisely. If you're going to be an employee, you want 401k. You want a company that not only provides a 401k for you, but also matches that. You need retirement. You need to, and companies that allow for growth, companies that allow for promotion, companies that help train you so that you can leverage and trade in higher skills for more pay. You always have to be learning. You always have to increase your skill set so that you can leverage that for more pay. I mean, on and on and on. We should probably set a day aside to talk about money, but these are the things. Okay, let's move on because, yeah. Gina says the books I suggested are from my library 25 plus years, but worth the hunt. Beautiful. Michelle says, I love the book Moon Bath. Yes. Working with the moon cycle and bathing this way. Beautiful. Excuse me. Jomar continues and says, gold coins from your bank is $10. And yes. Yes. Okay. Thank you for telling me that, because you just reminded me of something. I had a friend a million years ago who would buy mini little bullions. They're are they called? That's like the, you know what I'm talking about. Gold bricks, like 10 grand. She'd invest and she'd have one or two in her home, both to create the vibration, but because gold is a good investment. And she had them magically in her home because that is the energy that she wanted, and only that energy in her home. But yeah, I can get gold coins. What? Okay, I'm going to do that. That's going to be my homework for this week. Thank you for bringing that up. Aiden says, I'm kind of liking the gold leaf idea, pulling in solar power and abundance. Yes. The best advice ever channel is, there you go. The best advice ever channel. Thank you for telling me. I'm like, wait, what are you talking about? TBAEC. My name is Michelle. Hi, Michelle. Esther says, great chat, Elena. Soaking it all up. Besos. And I hope to see you in person again. I know, girl. But congratulations on the coming baby. That's exciting. Sacred economy. And investing your money in people who are also in alignment with what you are and who you are and what you want to see in the world. Also. All right. Goodness gracious. Talk about a long chat about all the things except for the thing that we were supposed to be talking about. But we did talk about baths. So there's that. I gave you the announcements for today. I'm going to be quiet for a while. Let's see. Obviously, the next live that we're going to do for boxes is the last Wednesday of January. I don't know what the date is right now. Emily's amazing, and she will remind us when the time gets closer, but let me tell you what it is. It's the 25th of January is the next live for the boxes. I know that I said, I think, our last live Tuesday and our last guided meditation that I would come back in January. I'm very likely not going to do that with the lives in January. I'm probably going to push it to February because there's a lot to get done in preparation for some of the covens that are coming that we're going to be providing for an offering in the next season. So that's it. No more lives. There's a lot of stuff though. We've got I think over 52 guided meditations. We've got all sorts of things for you to watch here on YouTube, but you know that we're also on other social media platforms and email and the boxes and the things, but be on the lookout. Things are coming. And I think that that's it. 25th of January. Perfect. Like that. Thank you for hanging out with me. It was nice to kind of touch in. It was a nice marker to kind of like end the year. Um, Slow down, rest, take baths, go dreaming, have your dream journal, refresh your dream journal. Um, it's the time for it. So don't let it go yet. Just still hold on to it for as long as you can and really ride the depth of this dark time because it's got a lot to offer. And I just keep getting the hit over and over and over again that it really has something to say to all of us as witches in the world because we need the information, but we need to listen. And in order to listen, we need to slow it down. I guarantee that none of us are as slow as we could be, and we need it. So I love you all. Thank you for being here, and we'll see each other soon. All right. Bye.